I want to welcome everybody here to the Arizona Live Music Cooperative, session number 1 at Chilada's. Really appreciate being here. We very much appreciate the space and very much appreciate being here at a family restaurant in Phoenix that's been around for the better part of 6 decades. We're going to get rolling with our good friend, Travis.
Thank you. Well, it's good to see everybody. You know, we haven't been able to make it up here for a while. You know, I got them chronic migraines and them other boo-boos that I picked up in the club, and so we had a good day today and thought, well, we're going to run up here to the very first time here at this Chilada's, and it's really good to see everybody. So I'm going to play one that is one of mine that I played the very first time I went to the Live Music Cooperative up there at Genesis, and it is for my wife because our 38th anniversary was Saturday. Yep, and I'll tell you what, she's a little older than me. We got married in Vegas and was scrounging money out of the seat cushions to get home. And everybody tell them, oh, it's never going to last. Oh my God, oh my God. And all these people have been in Hawaii and Bali and all them places there going on 3 and 4 and crying about their alimony, and Sherry and I still chugging. Well, she's right here. So anyway, here we go. You were there when I came home, like you said you'd be. I was lost and alone. You were there beside me. It's been on my mind for a long, long time. That war is still in my head. Years have gone by full of nights that you cried while I lay there and dreamed of the dead. They said let it go. Tried. There was sadness and pain that I just couldn't hide. You seem to know how it hurt me inside. The lives torn apart, all the people who died. I can't imagine how alone I would be without you here right next to me. 'Cause you were there, I wasn't alone. 'Cause you were there, see the way home. I said let it go. Believe me, I tried. War isn't something that you just put aside. And the way to forget ain't nowhere to hide. To explain war can do to your mind. Some hold it close, some keep it inside. Some are still there in their dreams every night. Some hold on to hope. Some wonder why. You're searching for peace that they may never find. The world keeps on turning, life goes on. It's hard to live when your hope is all gone. Felt lost, I could turn to you. You were right there, help me get through. I can't imagine how alone I would be without you there. Thank you. All good, she says. Thumbs up. Well, we was talking a little bit earlier about where we come from and where we've been and everything, and I have one that I put together that I love about my family. No matter how far I wander, no matter how far I roam, Arizona is my home. No place I'd rather be. Live here in this desert land with my family. Highway 60 from Globe, Miami, down to Wickenburg and Salone. How far I wander, how far I roam, Arizona is my home. I was young, lived in Washington, little east of Aberdeen. Spent some time in California, all points in between. Traveled most of the West Coast, Seattle to El Cajon. How far I wander, how far I roam, Arizona is my home. Billy, I was in the Army, tell 'em, served in Tennessee, couple years in Colorado, and a little time overseas. But Arizona was still my home. It called out to me. My heart was part of that desert land that meant so much to me. Been lots of other places, LA to San Antonio. Far I wander, how far I roam, Arizona is my home. Arizona is my home. No place I'd rather be. Look across this desert land and I see my family. All of those who have gone before, all of those yet to come. How far I wander, how far I roam, from the Colorado River to San Simon. Arizona is my home.
Nicely done. What a great start. Thank you, Travis. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kevin Brennan.
red flamingo. Huh? Well, it's the only time I get to use that line anyway. Yeah, but it's fun. Okay, so by introduction, this is a piece that I wrote a few years ago, and I just decided to do it tonight here, since this is the first of, so.
Beautifully done. Kevin Brennan, folks. Thank you, Kevin. That was great. Ladies and gentlemen, Ranman.
could never say where she came from. Yesterday don't matter if it's gone. While the sun is bright, in the darkest night, no one knows. She comes and goes. Sing with me, please. Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday. Who could hang a name on you when you change with every new day? Don't question why she needs to be so free. She'll tell you it's the only way to be. She just can't be chained to a life where nothing's gained and nothing's lost at such a cost. Now don't screw up this next time, okay? Everybody. Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday. Who could hang a name on you when you change with every new day? Still, I'm gonna miss you. There's no time to lose, I heard her say. You catch your dreams before they slip away. Dying all the time, you lose your dreams and you will lose your mind. Ain't life unkind? Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday. Who could hang a name on you when you change with every new day? Still, I'm gonna miss you. Well, it was 47 years ago that I wrote this song. Got married to my wife and decided we'd go to California and be a rock and roll star. 47 years ago. And here I am today in front of you. The name of the song is indicative of my success. It's called I'm Going to Stay, and we were there for about 6 months. But it's called I'm Going to Stay. Seeking the summer that is in my mind, leaving the ice and the snow behind, moving along San Francisco Bay, dreaming I'm going to stay, I'm gonna stay. Watching the cars cruise old Highway 1, smelling the sea, drinking up the sun, braving the breezes of Monterey, feeling I'm going to stay, I'm gonna stay. I am gonna stay. Oh, I am gonna stay. I am gonna stay. I'm gonna stay. Spending the hours with my long-lost friends, reliving memories that never end. As we go down San Diego way, knowing I'm going to stay, I'm gonna stay. I am gonna stay. I am gonna stay. I didn't stay. I'm gonna stay.
Hey, Randman, folks, that was wonderful. I'm glad you didn't stay, though. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bruce Hecht.
Thanks so much. So nice to see everybody. Continuing on with the open mic here. I'm gonna play a couple of Joni Mitchell songs. Born with the moon in Cancer, give her a name she will answer to. Call her green, for the winters cannot fade her. Call her green for the children who have made her. Little green, be a gypsy dancer. He went to California, hearing that everything's warmer there. So you write him a letter and say, her eyes are blue. He sends you a poem and she's lost to you. Little green, he's a nonconformer. Just a little green, like the color when the spring is born. There'll be crocuses to bring to school tomorrow. Just a little green, like the nights when the northern lights perform. There'll be icicles, birthday clothes. Sometimes there'll be sorrow. A child with a child pretending. weary of lies, you are sending home. So you sign all the papers in the family name. You're sad and you're sorry, but you're not ashamed, little green. Have a happy ending. Just a little green, like the color when the spring is born. There'll be crocuses to bring to school tomorrow. Just a little green, like the nights when the northern lights perform. There'll be icicles, birthday clothes, and sometimes there'll be sorrow. Oh, thanks. Then in the words of Rand Man, please sing with me on this song. Bows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way. Ah, but now it's just na 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 na. There's something more na na na. But clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from rain and snow. Still somehow it's cloud illusions that I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. See if I can do better with this verse. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, a dizzy dancing way you feel when every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way. Ah, but now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's love's illusions that I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way. Ah, but now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed, but something's lost and something's gained in living every day. Oh, I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take. Still somehow it's life's illusions that I recall. I really don't know life at all. It's cloud illusions that I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Thanks so much. Thanks, Glen.
Thank you.
Cowboy.
Beautifully done, Bruce. That sounded great. Bruce Hecht, folks. Thank you so much. Mark Stiekman, folks.
Good luck to Cowboy and Glen and all of us here at our new home at Chilada's for the Arizona Live Music Cooperative.
Yay for the new home. Yeah.
Want to do it. Wow. How do you top that? All right. Well, on that note, my first song tonight is a song by a guy named Willie Nile. It's called I Can't Do Crazy. Just a local girl with honey-colored hair. You had the kind of far-off look I'd follow anywhere. Your take-me eyes and gypsy style made all the young men weak, and I could hardly move that night, and I could hardly speak. And we played the game, we made the moves. You shook me to the core. I can't do crazy. I can't do crazy. I can't do crazy anymore. We used to skip around the town, dreamers on the run. We heard the hollow church bells sing, stared into the sun, and we broke the rules and we ran like fools. You know we played so hard till the endless teardrops fell like rain on my front yard. And your beauty walks the tightrope high above the bedroom floor. I can't do crazy. I can't do crazy. I can't do crazy anymore. Yeah, we crossed the line, climbed the wall so many times before. Standing outside, banging on my door. And now I watch more carefully just where my heart will go. I count the cards and drink the stars, let the wild winds blow. Sometimes late at night, when I hear the old song, I see your smile like it was yesterday. Well, that was then and this is now. I've been down that road before. Yes, that was then and Thank you. Just thought I'd put it out there. I'm not doing it, but you guys are free to help yourselves. All right, thanks. It's another songwriter named Bill Morrissey, and this is one of his tunes called "You'll Never Get to Heaven." Get to heaven if you don't stop talking. It's just a waste of time when there's no one there. Your little fever, don't you worry. It'll keep you warm in the cool night air. Never get to heaven if the dogs keep howling, and not at a man or a cat or the moon. Save your breath and just keep walking, and the sun will rise very soon. And all your friends are down, they're long gone out of town. You were the only one crazy enough to stay, except for maybe me and that howling dog. Make three if you want to go to heaven for anyway. Never get to heaven if you don't stop drinking. A little too late to make that list. The time of night when no one's laughing, and it gets you so quiet that you can hear a kiss. Never get to heaven when the season's over. Nothing but the husk and the hull remain. When that fever breaks, you get colder, and you're the same temperature as the rain. What you wanna get to heaven for anyway? Yeah. All your friends are down, long gone out of town, and you only want crazy. Except for maybe me and that little dog makes three. What you wanna get to heaven for anyway? Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Beautiful set. Happy birthday, Mark. Great stuff. Thank you. Excellent. I am so glad to see this guy here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Mike.
I love hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for having me. I wrote a song about my sister that was my first best friend, but she was real conflicted in life. So it's called Hell on Wheels. That girl was hell on wheels. That girl was hell on wheels, a Spitfire on roller skates. She coasts around that town like she owned the place. Oh, feathered hair and a smile that steals. That girl was hell on wheels. I just wrote the song yesterday, so I'm trying to fix the words. Now the bestest hug you could receive is when you're pressed together and you felt her heartbeat. Oh, that girl was heaven sent, but hellbound. And hell bent until heaven found. She was a sweetheart in the morning, but she tore it up at night. She was groovy like an old vinyl record, not them slow ass 33s, but them fast ass 45. She didn't mean no harm. She was just sowing oats. Some folks fly so high, but then they crash so low. Oh, she'd go, but like she was belonged in. Hell on wheels. That girl was hell on wheels. I forgot the last couple words. There's Kiss, right? That's Kiss, because Kiss is Kiss. And just awesome. And then this one here, well, first of all, the black tape is because I keep leaving this in my car with 115-degree heat, and it starts breaking on me, so I'm putting the tape on here. Because I really like this thing. I like the way it sounds. I've won like 6 ukuleles in the last 6 months, so trying to save this one. So that's Kiss there, because they're awesome. This is the devil card, because that's a rumor around town, is that with the girls, I'm kind of the devil. They don't like me too much, so that's why I'm still single. Do what I want, when I want to. So that's it. Let me do a song here called Every 30 Days or So. Every once in a while, I got a girl comes in from out of town and for business, and we get to hang out and have a good time, and I really like it. First, we're real casual, but there's a lot of...
What's your business, man? What are you doing?
No, not her business, not my business. So, I don't know, this is an interactive thing. Call Every 30 Days or So. Every 30 days or so, a big smile on my face. Every 30 days or so, on my heart begins to race. That's when she rolls around to my town, picks me up when I am down for a moment or two. That gal makes me whole. What first was lust, now so much more. She is that gal I'm pining for. Every 30 days or so. When the girl, she touches me, I almost lose my mind. Every time. When
the girl, she kisses me, oh, so it shines. The shit she says, the way she sways, makes me hate them 29 days. I cannot hold that woman close. What first lust, now so much more. She is that gal I'm pining for. Every 30 days or so. When the girl, she looks at me, oh, sometimes I look away. It's too much. When the girl, she says my name, oh, shells that crash like waves. The shit she says, the way she sways, makes me hate them 29 days. I cannot hold that woman close. But first lust, now so much more. She is that gal I'm pining for. Every 30 days or so. Every 30 days or so.
Oh, yeah. Nice job, Mike Curtis. That sounded great. All right. When are you going to do a Kiss song for us, seeing you're such a Kiss guy? I mean, you know. All right. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Mike. Sounded great. All right, folks. Let's hear it for Chainsaw Dave.
Hey, what a beautiful venue we've got here, huh? Let's give another hand to Glen and Cowboy and Gwen, yeah? All right. And there have been so many beautiful upbeat songs tonight. I hate to be the downer, but I'll be the heavy tonight. Yeah. Kill the buzz. That's right. But I thought I would debut a new song since we're debuting here at this venue. So this song I just finished. I had started writing it years before the subject came into the public conscience, and that doesn't make me cool. What makes me cool is I'm not going to play the 13-minute version of this song. So follow me to South Central New Mexico for a little bit here. This song is called the Chupadera Ridge. I am a mescalero, born before the war. I ranched this land like my grandfathers before. They call me storyteller for generations long. I know all my people's songs, I will sing you only one. This is how it happened, we were still quite poor. The Packards, Jeeps, and flatbeds came in the fall of '44. They came to Tularosa, the place where I am from. I had a wife and newborn boy. Where did these men come from? White men, suits and ties, a briefcase in their hand, along with well-dressed officers like the ones who took our land. Like the ones who took our land. The The white men gave us jobs to build riggings for the war. We all wanted to pitch in 'cause they said that's what it's for. We heard them call it Project Y. We'd laugh and say, why not? The money was good for a while, but the money, it ran out. Out there in the desert west of here, nothing much grows. The white men vanished into it for what we did not know. One night they took the rigs. One night they took the rigs and drove up north into the sand. You've read about Prometheus had something in his hand. Something hidden in his hand. How do you do, mister? Why do you do what you are doing? In the dust you found the path to the brighter day. But the horses say you are not fooling us. My wife Anna's garden grew. Our son, he turned 1. My wife Anna's garden grew. My son, he turned 1. My wife Anna's garden grew, and my son, he turned 1. One night while we played shuffleboard, 3 men came into town. They bought us drinks, we listened to them talk from 6 to 12. They started telling secrets they were not supposed to tell. I didn't understand it all, my friends were getting tired. But those 3 men, they sat and talked like the whole world was on fire. One more round for Hitler, boys, and the Japs are next to Byrne. When the spirit dies in some men's eyes, it never will return. They talked on and on about Trinity, I remember that the most. We learned in the boarding schools that name meant holiest of hosts. The holiest of hosts. How do you do, mister? Why do you do what you are doing? In that dust you walk the path to the brighter day. But the horses say you are not fooling us. Later on that summer, Anna and my son stayed home. I drove north to help Jose bring his cattle in. Jose is the youngest brother of my mother's clan. It took all day and all night to bring his cattle to the pens. We camped there at the south end of the Chupadera Ridge. We threw our blankets on the ground by the old abandoned bridge. One more hour to daylight, when straight up from the ground, the sun, it rose up suddenly with a terrifying sound. Knocked that old bridge down. The sun beast, it climbed so high, the heavens cried out loud. Its evil faces looked like they were chasing after God. Jose said, let's leave this place, we cannot show our fear. And though the voice was his, I heard a stranger's in my ear. nothing much made sense that day except that we survived. How many answers do we need to keep ourselves alive? Just to keep ourselves alive. How do you do, mister? Why do you do what you are doing in that dust? You walk the path to the brighter day, but our horses say you are not fooling us. I drove back to Tularosa. They all had seen the same. Soon after that, our gardens died and the cattle all went lame. For many years across the valley, our babies were stillborn. The government has given us still nothing in return. The cancer spread from town to town like fire through the trees. My Anna died in 48, my son in 63. Seems those three men in the bar that night, they got it wrong. The Japanese were not the first ones made to touch the sun. We were made to touch the sun. How do you do, mister? Why do you do what you are doing to us? You found the path to the brighter day, but our horses say you are not fooling us. Jose and I are still around, but not by any choice. I think God must have been with us when I heard that stranger's voice. An old man sitting on that old abandoned bridge to watch his children play with fire on the Chupadera Ridge. He watched his children play with fire on the Chupadera Ridge. I'm a mescalero, my day is almost done. I know all my people's songs, but I'll sing you only one. Thank you very much.
Oh, beautifully done, Dave. Thank you. Chainsaw Dave, folks. Excellent. All the way from Winslow, Arizona, ladies and gentlemen, it's Casey.
Oh my God. Don't get old, man. I just got a cramp in my leg.
Ooh.
Oh my God. I haven't been on a bar stool in a while, so I thought whenever I saw him, better have a beer over there. Oh my God, huh?
Could be worse. Your hand could be cramping. I've had that happen.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
no fun.
Oh, I've had it twist
no
in
fun.
a circle. It is
So
unbelievable.
I thought your welcome for Casey was rather tepid. Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
That's a big word for.
Don't expect
right?
a whole lot, okay? Just don't go there.
All right.
Especially you got that cramp back. Boy, I don't know if they can make this stool here. I've been run down. Oh, I've been lied to. I don't know why I let that woman treat me the way that I do. Yeah, she took all my money. She wrecked my new car. And now she's in with one of my good time buddies drinking in a crosstown bar. Sometimes I feel, yes, sometimes I feel I'm tied to the whipping the whipping post. Oh Lord, sometimes I feel like I'm dying. My friends tell me, especially Chainsaw Dave, that I'm such a fool. But I guess that's just the price that I pay for loving a woman like you. But sometimes I feel, yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm tied to the whipping post. Tied to the whipping post. And tied to the whipping post. Sometimes I feel like I'm dying.
That was really great, Case. And Charles, our friend from Australia, had a question for you.
Oh, he does, huh?
Because when I mentioned that you were from, when I mentioned, yeah, they're different kind.
Oh, okay.
They do it on the other side of the road.
They do it in the road?
Well, they have. But he wanted to know, because I said you were from Winslow, if you arrived in a flatbed Ford. So there is actually quite the connection with Casey and the flatbed Ford. So Casey is from Winslow, and they've got this big display up there with Jackson Browne, and they've got Jackson Browne statue, and everybody gets their picture taken there, and blah, 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 blah. It's on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. And whose flatbed Ford is that in the display, Casey?
Well, at one time I bought that, and I got it painted red, and did. I'm from Winslow, Arizona. It's a small little town. There's not a whole lot of people there, so I don't own it anymore. We have a committee there. We put it in their name. The city tried to haul it off first time I parked it there because it was there for 3 days, and they were like, "God damn, somebody got to move."
But that was his
the city did not get
flatbed
it,
Ford.
You know,
So there you go, Charles from Australia. Now you know the rest
Charles,
of the
you're
story.
talking to the right guy here. No, but we do have Glen Fry there. So, and Glen Fry is probably the most important part of that because he's the one that put Winslow in the song. Yeah. No, they got a bunch of my friends up there on a plaque. Their names are all on there. I've been off of there about 10 years. I was a president of the board there for about 10 years. So, anyway, it's a lot of fun, and it's coming up the weekend of the 29th and the 30th. We have a big festival in Winslow. Everybody's invited. We have a bar. We have all that stuff. We built a big stage, two stages, and we got bands that'll go from the middle of the afternoon until 1 o'clock at night. And yeah, we always have an Eagles band there, you know, a tribute band and all that kind of stuff. So, and we have a big time. It's the end of September. I think it's the 29th, 30th this year. So, yeah. Anyway, you know, September, we always remember 9/11 and all those kind of things. And I think in America, we're getting to the point where almost every day has something that we can remember that's a sad day now, and that's kind of a sad statement. And 1st of October, I probably won't be here for that, but the 2nd of October actually is the day when we had the biggest mass shooting in Las Vegas. I don't know if you guys remember that, but somebody loaded a bunch of guns in a motel room and took out and just killed a whole bunch of people down in the parking lot. And, you know, that was a hell of a day, but there was something else that happened that day. A lot of people got covered up. And it was also the same day that Tom Petty died, that morning. So, you know, we just have a lot of memories, a lot of things that have happened that aren't great. But I'm a big Tom Petty fan. So I thought I'd just do a little tribute to him here, if you guys don't mind. hardest part. I need to know right now. Need to know right now. Even the losers get lucky sometimes. Couldn't have been that easy to forget about me. Won't come around here no more. American girl. I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. Coming down is the hardest thing. You don't have to live like a refugee. You don't know how it feels to be me. Yeah, I'm insider. Burn by the fire. She's gonna listen, she's gonna listen to her heart. She's gonna tell her what to do, but she don't need you. Stand me up against the gates of hell. I won't back down. If you know me well, the last dance, oh, with Mary Jane. One more time to kill the pain. All right.
Nicely done, Casey. Thank you so much. Great to see you down here, my friend.
Thank you guys very much.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mike Greenleaf.
Hi. Glen was referring to the fact that this guitar tried to commit suicide. It jumped off of the wall onto a tile floor, and as you can see, it almost died. And thanks to Glen for putting me in touch with probably the only person in the valley who could really have put it back together again, Robert Mazzullo at the Roberto Van School of Luthery. And it still sounds okay. And I think maybe he made it sound better than it sounded before. Here's a cautionary. I don't know what to play. I've been going through the songbook lately, and let's try this. One day, a beautiful princess was walking on the bog. On a slab of peat, who should she meet but Fred the talking frog? The top of the morning to you, lass. Hello, hello, cries he. I'd be glad, you know, if you'd stop a mo and listen close to me. You see, I've been bewitched and I'd be needing a royal miss, such as your lovely self, to give this ugly mug a kiss. True metamorphosis would then ensue, I'll tell you true. From merely a former prince and I would straightway marry you. To me rightful Johnny go there and higgledy-piggledy down and around to me high-low. Harem and scarum and riding no white sauce of cranberry down to me toady-toady, Truman Capote, Faith and me Goris, Maureen O'Hara, riding to Sligo with Molly O'Shafer to dance by the sea with a right cup of tea on a peary Sunday morning. Well, I've heard that song and dance before, says the princess. It's all fine, but if it's a kiss you're after, the chances you'll have to stand in line, for there's frogs outside me father's castle, frogs is in the royal hall, frogs is climbing up the chimney, frogs is bouncing off the wall, frogs is floating on the moat and up the stairs and on the shelf. Had to kiss every one of yous, Jesus, I'd have no time to myself. So laddie, let's make it swift, for lately falls the hour. I'm too home for my evening shift, a pining in the tower. To me rightful Johnny go there and higgledy-piggledy down and around to me high-low. Harum and scarum and riding a white horse of cranberry down to me toady, cumin capote, faith and me gorris, Maureen O'Hara, we're riding to Sligo with Molly O'Shea for to dance by the sea with the right cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. Well, you know, she's just about to kiss him when Mrs. Frog come hopping by. Crying, Fred, you're late for supper. Coming, dear, was his reply. You mean he's not bewitched, the princess says? Just odd, says Mrs. Frog. And into kissing princesses he meets upon the bog. And though I love me Fred, I fear he chafes at family ties. I'd invite you over for supper, me dear, but we only have 2 flies. Thank God you didn't kiss him. This is your lucky day. When I first Fred, I was a princess too. That's how I got this way. To me rightful Johnny go there and higgledy-piggledy down and around to me high-low. Harum and scarum and riding a white horse of cranberry down to me toady, Truman Capote, Faith and Big Orridge, Maureen O'Hara, and hark to the herald, it's Barry Fitzgerald. We're riding to Sligo with Molly O'Shea for the dance by the sea with a red cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. Toady, Truman Capote, Faith and Big Orridge, Maureen O'Hara, and hark to the herald, it's Barry Fitzgerald, all in a Volkswagen with Victor McLaughlin. We're riding to Sligo with Molly O'Shea for the dance by the sea with a red cup of tea on a bleary Sunday morning. For the dance by the sea with an LSD Timothy Leary Sunday morning. That's a mouthful there. Michael Peter Smith from Chicago, Illinois. If you don't know the guy, look him up. He writes a bunch of songs that are really fun. He wrote a song called "The Dutchman" like I said, I've been going through the songbook, and Bruce reminded me. I think maybe I'm going to try this. I love this song. I don't know if I can play it. I slept last night in a good hotel. I went shopping today for jewels. The wind rushed around in this dirty town, and the children let out from the school. He was standing on a noisy corner. No, I was standing on a noisy corner, waiting for the walking green. Across the street he stood, and he played real good on his clarinet for free. Some folks play for fortune, and the velvet curtain call. Black limousines, muscle-bound men escorting them to the hall. And they'll play if you got the money, or if you're a friend, maybe. But the one-man band by the quick lunch stand, he was playing real good for free. nobody stopped to hear him. Though he played so sweet and high, they knew he had never been on their TV. So he passed, oh they passed his music by. I meant to go over and ask for a song, maybe put on a harmony. I heard his refrain as the signal changed. He was playing real good for free. Thank you, Glen and Cowboy Rick.
Michael Greenleaf, folks, that was really beautiful, Michael. Thank you so much. Sounded fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, a stellar human being and a better than mediocre musician, Cowboy Rex.
Thanks. Thank you, I think. Okay, here's one of my tunes, and then I'll do one that's not my tune. Brother Billy looked at me and said, the fish in the river, why, it looks like they're all dead. I guess we're going on a squirrel hunt instead. Come on, let's get on up out of here. And Sister Sally, with a bread pan on her knee, looked at me and she said, why, the flower's all full of fleas. Can we go somewhere I can bake cornbread when I please? Come on, let's get on up out of here. Auntie Jane said, things are not the same. We used to hop and skip and sing all down the lane. Now her heart is broken, she's in a lot of pain. Come on, let's get on up out of here. And Uncle Eric's looking out across the land. Looks like the topsoil's all turning into sand. It's only crops and empty promise in your hand. Come on, let's get on up out of here. Ooh, so sad. So sad. Highfalutin folks are coming around to get our votes. They don't appear to have the brains God gave a toad. Seems to me like they should just leave simple folks alone. Come on, let's get on up out of here. I'm stuck in this little room with very little light. Terrors in the darkness and bad dreams all through the night. But I'm gonna fight this lock and key with all my might. Come on, let's get on up out of here. Ooh, so sad. So sad. Jesus is returning to Jerusalem one day. He'll split the sky and all the dark clouds roll away. I have a feeling I know just what he will say. Come on, let's get on up out of here. First time he came, he healed the deaf and the blind. Hard-hearted folks turned on him and he was crucified. This time around, I hope that no one's left behind. Come on, let's get on up out of here. This time around, I hope that no one's left behind. Everybody, come on, let's get on up out of here. I hear the gravel crunching underneath our feet. Arm in arm, our little family is headed to the street. We're gonna march and sing till everyone is free. Come on, let's get on up out of here. We're gonna march and sing till every one of us is free. Come on, let's get on up out of here. Come on, let's get on up out of here. Come on, let's get on up out of here. Thank you, guys. Randy hasn't heard that one before because it's a new one, pretty new. But it sure was a pleasure to have you guys sing along. That was very nice. This is a real cowboy song. And it's a waltz. And there's yodeling in this song, so this is a yodel-safe environment. So all you guys who are closet yodelers, shower yodelers, bathroom yodelers, yodel in the car. At the end of this song, we'll all yodel together. While I was out riding, graveyard shift, midnight till dawn, the moon was as bright as a reading light for a letter from an old friend back home. He asked me, why do you ride for your money? Why do you rope for short pay? You ain't getting nowhere and you're losing your share. He said last night he ran on the Ginny. She's married and she has a good life. Boy, you sure missed the track when you never come back. She's a perfect professional's wife. But she asked me, why does he ride for his money? Why does he roll for short pay? He ain't getting nowhere and he's losing his share. Why he must have gone crazy out there. How about they've never seen the northern lights, follow the hawk on the wing, or sing spring break out on the great divide, knowing they've never heard old Camp Cookie sing. I read up the last of my letter, then I tore off the stamp for Black Jim. And when Billy rode up to relieve me, he just looked at that letter and grinned. He said, why do they work for their money? And why do they toil for short pay? They ain't getting nowhere and they're losing their share. Why they all must be crazy out there, because they never slept under the northern lights. Follow the hawk on the wing, seen spring break out on the great divide, knowing they've never heard old Camp Cookie sing like this. You ready? Thanks, you guys.
Beautifully done. Cowboy Rex, thank you so much. That sounded just fantastic. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome for Debbie J.
Thank you. Thank you. I have one original and then a medley by C.S. Lewis. We'll call it a medley of sound bites. But first, the original, penned about, well, more than 3 decades ago. Honesty, trust, love, forgiveness, concepts we manipulate, sell, throw away. But the emptiness we hold as they leave is so hungry it consumes any life we try to live. Open eyes and open hearts, the only doors to redeeming tomorrow. So, thank you. If you don't know who C.S. Lewis is, then you can check that out. But these were compiled by two individuals who really appreciated his work. One studied him at university, and the other one became enamored of him when she was 13. So if I don't forget, I'll read you which of his writings this comes from, and they're just little sound bites. There will be 6 of them. From The Weight of Glory. At present, we are on the outside of the world, the wrong side of the door. We discern the freshness and purity of morning, but they do not make us fresh and pure. We cannot mingle with the splendors we see, but all the leaves of the New Testament are rustling with the rumor that it will not always be so. Someday, God willing, we shall get in. And then from Miracles. An impersonal God, well and good, a subjective God of beauty, truth, and goodness inside our own heads. Better still, a forceless life force, a formless life force, singeing through us, a vast power which we can tap. Best of all, but God himself, alive, pulling at the other end of the cord, perhaps approaching at an infinite speed, the hunter, king, husband, that is quite another matter. And then from Mere Christianity, the life force is sort of a tame God. You can switch it on when you want, but it will not bother you. All the thrills of religion and none of the cost. Is the life force the greatest achievement of wishful thinking the world has yet seen? From The Problem of Pain. It is hardly complimentary to God that we should choose him as an alternative to hell, yet even this he accepts. The creature's illusion of self-sufficiency must, for the creature's sake, be shattered. And by trouble, or fear of trouble on earth, by crude fear of the eternal flames, God shatters it, unmindful of his glory's diminution. I call this divine humility, because it's a poor thing to strike our colors to God when the ship is going down under us, a poor thing to come to him as a last resort, to offer up our own when it's no longer worth keeping. If God were proud, he would hardly have us on such terms. But he is not proud. He stoops to conquer. He would have us even though we have shown that we prefer everything else to him, and come to him because there's nothing better now to be had. And from Till We Have Faces. The sweetest thing in all my life has been the longing to reach the mountain, to find the place where all the beauty came from, my country, the place where I ought to have been born. Do you think it all meant nothing? All the longing for home? For indeed, it now feels not like going, but like going back. And finally, from The Last Battle. All their life in this world and all their adventures in Narnia had only been the cover and title page. Now, at last, they were beginning chapter 1 of the great story which no one on earth has read, which goes on forever in which every chapter is better than the one before. Thank you.
Oh, nice job, Debbie J, folks. Thank you so much. Glad you made the trip. Thank you, thank you. All right, folks, it is Ryan. Say hello.
Good to be here. Good to see you all here. So I'm gonna do a cover right now. It's a Bob Dylan song, kind of made famous by Jimi Hendrix. And today is the anniversary of his passing, 53 years ago. So I'm just gonna do my best. No whammy bars or nothing like that. There must be some kind of way out of here, say the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion, I can't get no relief. Businessman, drink my wine, plowman, dig my earth. But none of them along the line know what any of it is worth. No reason to get excited. The thief, he kindly spoke. There are many here among us who feel that life is but a joke. But you and I, we've been through that, and this is not our fate. So let us not talk falsely now. The hour's getting late. All along the watchtower, princess kept the view, while all the women came and went, barefoot servants too. Outside in the cold distance, a wildcat did he growl. Two riders were approaching, and the wind began to howl. Thank you. You know, I didn't even want to throw a fizzy in the fountain until you said we couldn't do it. Now I'm just fighting the urge. I left the fizzy back there because I couldn't trust myself. So, okay, this next one is an original I wrote about 4 years ago. I like to play it every once in a while. It's called Steady Go-To Man.
Call my name when you are near. The hour of your doubt and fear, and in the moment of your need, turn your burning lamp to me. Life gives us all that we can stand. Call on your steady go-to man. I'm your steady go-to man. The moon shines bright as your spirit dims. Ice upon which you glide is melting thin. I'm not so old like I used to be. Answer a heart true to its beat. Time will not heed to our demands. Find you might need a steady go-to man. I'm your steady go-to man. Inspiration hangs by a thread. The sirens outside ring in your head. The wind blows harder all the time. How long do you wander through your mind? And steady the trembling hand. Call on your steady go-to man. Steady go-to man. Steady go-to man. Steady go-to man. You steady go-to man. Thank you, everybody.
Great job, Brian. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks to everybody tonight. I'm going to do this song that the Foundations did way back in the 60s, but then Alison Krauss wrote a beautiful arrangement to it that I kind of stole. Baby, now that I found you, I won't let you go. Build my world around you, need you so. Baby, even though you don't need me, you don't need me, baby. Now that I found you, I won't let you go. Build my world around you, need you so, baby, even though you don't need me, you don't need me, no, no. Baby, baby, when first we met, I knew in this heart of mine you were someone I could never forget. Now I'm biding time. Spent my life looking for somebody makes me feel like you. Now you tell me that you're gonna leave me, darling, I just can't believe it's true. Baby, baby, when first we met, I knew in this heart of mine you were someone I could never forget. Now I'm biding time. Spent my life looking for somebody makes me feel like you. Now you tell me that you're gonna leave me, darling, I just can't believe it's true. Baby, now that I found you, I won't let you go. Build my world around you, need you so. Baby, even though you don't need me, you don't need me, no, no. Baby, now that I found you. Thank you, guys. Casey started me thinking about Tom Petty, so I'm going to do another Tom Petty song. She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus and America too. She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis, loves horses and her boyfriend too. It's a long day living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through the yard. I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart, and I'm free, free falling. Yeah, I'm free, free falling. All the vampires walking in the valley move west down Ventura Boulevard, and the bad boys, they're standing in the shadows, and the good girls are home with broken hearts, and I'm free. Free falling. Yeah, I'm free falling. 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 Gonna glide out over Mulholland, gonna write her name in the sky, gonna free fall out into nothing, gonna leave this world for a while, 'cause I'm free. Free falling. Yeah, I'm free. Free falling. I'm 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 free falling. Yeah. Thanks for the inspiration, Casey. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. We're going to get set up for Annie Moscow now, and a fabulous show coming up. Take a break, walk around, enjoy the beautiful grounds, and we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Annie Moscow and the Cool People.
One, two, here we go. So I called up my bank. I said, hey, give me a loan. He said, you don't have enough equity in your home. I said, you used to do backflips at the sound of my name. He said, yeah, that was before the world changed. That was before the world changed. That was before the world changed. Close your eyes, count to 10, nothing's the same. Not since the time before said, I got to year 3, then it just popped in my hand. I said, nothing's changed, put the way I had it arranged. She said, yeah, that was before the world changed. That was before the world changed. That was before the world changed. Close your eyes, count to 10, nothing's the same. Now since the time before the world changed. I wanna yell, hey planet, stop moving so fast. I wanna play by the rules, but the rules have to last. Now there's a bunch of good people walking around half insane, and I think it started happening when the world changed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody, that was before the world changed. That was before the world changed. Close your eyes, count to 10, nothing's the same. Now since the time before the world. One more time, that was before the world changed. That was before the world changed. Close your eyes, count to 10, nothing's the same. Not since the time before the world changed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The extremely cool people with me tonight, Tim Sato on violin, Vanessa Purdy, and Sam Russo. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, this one's from my friend Glen. There's a man in New York City out there living on the street. He's an artist and he paints all day, then he sells his work to eat. He paints cats. He paints cats in Washington Square. He paints cats. He paints cats every afternoon there. Every morning he sets his canvas out by the vendors in the park. Then he paints all day and he closes up before it gets too dark. And everyone around him says the world can be so cold and unfair. But he has his friends and he has his bench, and he doesn't seem to care. 'Cause he paints cats. He paints cats in Washington Square. He paints cats. He paints cats every afternoon there. Supposed to do to find some security. And I'm here to tell you firsthand that it isn't all it's cracked up to be. I'm thinking maybe it's time to make a change. I could move my piano there, and I will be an artist too, every day in Washington Square. He paints cats. He paints cats in Washington Square. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And this one is for all my girlfriends out there. Feel free to sing along at any point. This is our song. Glen, it's a little ringy. It's a little ringy. Can you hear that? Don't want no husband, no boyfriend or maid. My heart's too young to fall in love and too old to wait. Don't want no 24/7 man or mine, but I'll meet you for the weekend anytime at a bed and breakfast in New England. We'll walk around holding hands. I'll kiss you in the morning as we make our little plans. We'll have breakfast by the ocean, dinner by the bay. You can tell me that I'm beautiful, make love and go away. Ah, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, yeah. Nothing lasts forever, and certainly not you. But we can pretend we'll never end for a day or two. So meet me by the ferry, I'll be there at 8. Oh honey, pack a bag of sandwiches and don't be late for the bed and breakfast in New England. We'll walk around holding hands. I'll kiss you in the morning as we make our little plans. We'll have breakfast by the ocean, dinner by the bay. You can tell me that I'm beautiful, make love and go away. Oh, la-di-da. by the bay. You can tell me that I'm beautiful, make love and go away. La-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, yeah. Ma-ba-da-da, ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-da-da-da-da, ba-ba-ba. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to all my wonderful backup singers out there, you guys. You're on the cool people gang too. Okay, we're gonna do a song from my brand new CD. We actually did a soft release concert at the Nash this past May, but it turned out I'm working with some really great people, and they said, we're going to do it for real in February because there's like a whole team just pushing it out the right way. So I'm like, okay. So, but we're going to do the song from my new CD. It's called Why Do I? And Sam, you want to start us? Oh. Sing. No one tells an eagle how to fly. No one tells a river where to run. Why do I? No one tells a flower when to bloom. No one has to tame the moon to light up the night sky. No one has to tell a mountain, just be a mountain. Why do I? Why do I? Free will is a verb that runs in circles. It runs in circles and taunts me like a wayward muse. Free will is a verb that runs in circles. I see through your ruse. No one ever told my summer dream. No one told my summer dreams that winter would find me here, so frozen and unsatisfied. No one has to tell the seasons when it's time to change. Why do why do I? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am so fortunate to be working with all of you guys. Thank you so much. Vanessa is a phenomenal vocalist, and we've been friends for years and just never got around to singing together. I mean, she lives up in the mountains, so it's not like we get to see each other all the time. But about a year ago, we started messing around with the Joni Mitchell song. And we just had the best time with it, and it was so lovely that we do it whenever we're together. Let's do our Joni Mitchell song. And so I'm doing mostly original songs, well, all original songs for you guys tonight, because that's mainly what I do, but we're gonna make an exception to do our favorite Joni Mitchell song, which, by the way, never used to be my favorite or even in my top 10 till I started singing it with Vanessa, and now I love it. And let me know when you're tuned. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. I know I'm supposed to make banter or something. Yeah, are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. So we're good?
Good.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I met you on a midway at a fair last year. And you stood out like a ruby in a black man's ear. so grand, wearing wings. Do you tape them to your shoulders just to sing? Can you fly? I heard you can. Can you fly? Like an eagle doing your hunting from the sky. I followed with the sideshow to another town, and I found you in these trailers on the camping ground. You were betting on some lovers, you were shaking up the dice, and I thought I saw you cheating once or twice. Once or twice, I heard you did. Once or twice. Were you wondering, was the gamble worth the price? Pack it in, I heard you did. Pack it in. Was it hard to fold the hand you knew could win? So lately you've been hiding. It was somewhere in the news, and I'm still at these races with my ticket stubs and my blues, and a voice calls out the numbers, and it sometimes mentions mine, and I feel like I've been working overtime. Overtime, I'm getting my fire. Overtime, always playing one more hand for one more dime. Slowing down, I'm getting tired. Slowing down, and I envy you the valley that you found. 'Cause I'm midway on a midway, slowing down. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think we were fighting over a couple chords there. But yeah. Well, we'll get our act together. How many of you, I know a lot of you knew Jane Murdoch, who was a very, very dear friend and very active in the Arizona acoustic music community. And she was one of the first people I had the honor of. She recorded, or she started doing one of my songs, and she started doing it everywhere, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that, that's Jane's song. And when we lost her a few years ago, I started doing the song again, and every time I do it, I think of Jane. So I wrote it, it's kind of Jane's song, even though it's my song, it's Jane's song. But we're going to do it for you now. And also, some of you will appreciate this. This is a song about dating online. Okay, we good? What's that? Will everybody else hear? 1, 2, here we go. I said I like your hair, I said I like your way. You said you liked my music and would come and hear me play. Well, thank you for the compliment, you seem like a good man, but I didn't go on Match.com to find another fan. I just want what everybody else wants, someone to have fun with and somebody to hold. I just want what everybody else wants, a little bit of sunshine when the nights get cold. The genius in the wheelchair was found inside a strip club. The papers had a field day, something juicy to write, that they found him in a strip club instead of doing his equations. But what the heck, he had himself a wonderful night. He just wants what everybody else wants, someone to have fun with and somebody to hold. He just wants what everybody else wants, a little bit of sunshine when the nights get cold. Mother, every brother and friend, every stranger that you talk to, let me sing it again. The person at the bus stop, the lady on the plane, the man behind the counter who you can't pronounce his name, the old folks in the nursing home, the homeless on the street, every man and every woman, everybody you meet. They all just want what everybody else wants, someone to believe in and someone to hold. We all just want what everybody else wants, a little bit of sunshine when the nights get cold. I just want what everybody else wants, a little human contact when the nights get cold. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now I'm going to do a song for my friend Cowboy, because, hi, this one's for you, because I know you like this one. And I spent my day today in college. I was the guinea pig, what would you call what I did? It was a recording school, and they needed a piano, what's that? Yeah, they needed a piano playing songwriter. They wanted to practice recording on me. So I also did the song today in college, but because it was a real challenge for the students, because I was able to play and sing at the same time. Anyway, I'm gonna do it for Cowboy, because I know he loves it. Oh, and a true story behind this song. When I was 20, my ex-husband's grandmother had just moved into a nursing home. And we went to see her and she gave us a tour. And she was so funny because she thought she was speaking in a stage whisper. And she'd point out to people in the hall and she'd say, "Oh, he's crazy." Heart trouble, you know, and it's like, grandma, you know. And she had a refrain. She had a refrain for everybody there. She goes, everybody's damaged. You don't get through life without something. And so, inspired by my late great grandma Dora, this song is called Free Pass. right before she died. I had a beautiful figure, beautiful future, skin like peaches. She said, look around this place, everybody's damaged here, some more than others, but let me be clear. You gotta hang on to all these good things while they last. No one gets a free pass, free pass. No one gets a free pass. She said, I've seen the celebrities all rise and fall. Hey, you live long enough, you get to see it all 1,000 times over, till you just shrug your shoulders and laugh. No one gets a free pass, free pass. No one gets a free pass. Everybody's damaged here. Yeah, this is what it looks like at the end of your years. So you better count every blessing, smell every flower, enjoy all this beauty while it lasts. No one gets a free pass, free pass. No one gets a free pass. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do my favorite song to procrastinators everywhere. Or should we do it tomorrow? That's really, really bad. Sorry. Sorry. If you laughed, I would put it in my bag of, to use it again. Okay, it's called Someday. 1, 2, here we go. When we're gonna go to Africa, when you're gonna take that trip to China, when you're going back to France again, if not now, when? Someday, so easy to say. Someday, someday, 1,000 somedays, till another year closes, another window or door, and there's not enough somedays anymore. another window or door, and there's not enough some days anymore. So I'm just biding my time till I can be what I wanna be someday. I know this limbo will end, if not now, when? If not now, when? Oh, someday, so easy to say. Someday, someday, 1,000 some days, till another year closes, another window or door, and there's not enough some days left anymore. I wanna move out past this familiar shore and move out into the world before another year closes, another window or door, and there's not enough some days anymore. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to do a couple more for you. Do we have time for 3 more? Are we good? Okay, great.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, we're going to do another one off my upcoming CD. And this one I wrote with a wonderful cellist who I met in the mountains in Idlewild when I went to a songwriter retreat. And you are going to be our cello player for the day, right? Okay, so Tim is going to fill in admirably, I'm sure. And this is called To See This With Me. Drove through the mountains beneath the big sky. There was thunder and lightning 5,000 feet high. Then out from the gray skies a rainbow broke free. I wish you were here to see this with me. Saw a young deer. It stumbled and cried till its mother appeared. Then it galloped away when it lost all its fear. I feel like that fawn. I wish you were here. I climbed a mountain and leapt through the sky, drove out on my own and to understand why we had to break this embrace so our hearts could fly free. I wish you could be here to see this with me. The more we let go, they say, well, we're stronger than we ever know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know how they say friends come into our lives for a reason or a season? What is it? Reason, season, what's the other one? Or a lifetime, right? I don't know, it's something like that. This song is about people that come into our lives who we absolutely love and adore, and for really no reason other than we don't have enough in common to keep us together anymore, and they kind of disappear, and you think of them from time to time and maybe think about picking up the phone, but like, what would you even say, you know? But you always hold a place in your heart for them. And this is called You Were One of Mine. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing fine. I hope perhaps you think of me with a smile from time to time. If our paths are cast in wet cement, well, I think we've had our time. So I take my comfort in the fact that you were one of mine. 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 That I met you in this lifetime, and we had a magic time. Well, that's more that I could wish for in another place and time. And don't miss the love you gave to me, but I'll comfort myself with the memory of what we had and what will be. Oh, you were one of mine. 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 Everybody, you were one of mine. Woo! You were one of mine. You were one of mine. You were one of mine. Oh, I could cry how I miss you now, and I hope you're doing fine. I could cry how I wish you'd stay forever in my life, because you were one of mine. 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 If we're all just actors on a stage and our time is preordained, then I'll smile as I let you go until we meet again at the big cast party in the sky, when we laugh about this time as we gather round with the ones we love. Oh, you were one of mine, everybody. You were one of mine. Woo! You were one of mine. You were one of mine. You were one of mine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to do one last song for all of you, but before we do, we're going to do our drawing. Did anyone who wanted to enter? Okay. Woohoo. Whoa. Okay. Okay, I'm giving out 3. These are pre-releases. The music is the same. When the real release comes out, it's going to have some fancier artwork and stuff, but same music, so. And the cover is the same. You just get more pictures in February, that's all. Okay.
Drum roll.
Jan. Jan! Okay. Thank you. Hope you like it. Thank you. Okay.
Sorry, I should run off.
I know, right? Take all the winners, right? Priscilla, awesome, yay! Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, one more. I love it when someone I know wins, you know, it's super cool. Deborah Mislove. Yay, wow, so cool. There you go, thank you. Thank you. And we're gonna do one last song for you. And this is from my almost brand new CD that's coming out February 2nd, I think is the release date. Anyway, this song came to me in a dream. And at least most of it. I had to edit a little, but it's mostly in a dream. And it's called Open Dream. Woke up early morning with a song inside my head. Then I heard a voice inside me say, hey, get up and write this down. I felt a little smile come on as I stumbled back to bed. Good morning, I've got you now. I caught pieces of an open dream, scattered remnants of a long ago forgotten memory, left these pieces in an open dream to shine my way back home. Everything's so different now. The world has changed so fast. And lately I've been yearning for a time not that long ago. We just march into the future from the shoulders of a past that will never be again. Yeah, but I caught pieces of an open dream, scattered remnants of a long ago forgotten memory, left these pieces in an open dream to shine shine my way. I caught precious pieces of an open dream to hold on tight before they slip back through the veil. I'm gonna ride these pieces of an open dream and find my way back home. And find my way back home. Thank you. Tim Sato, Vanessa Purdy, Sam Russo, Cowboy and Glen, Arizona Music Cooperative. Thank you guys. Thank you all so much for being here. And I'm Annie Moscow, and thank you so much for coming out. Really appreciate it.
Annie
Thank
Moscow
you.
and the cool people. Yeah. Thank you so much for getting us started here. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Glenn.
Thank all you guys for coming out. We'll be here next week. Hope you will too. Love all you. See you later. Safe travels.
Mm-hmm.